Welcome to the Sean Headroom Files, a new series from News for Reasonable People that combines cutting-edge AI technology with Sean's signature take on local politics, government accountability, and the absurdities we face daily. While Sean himself isn't speaking live in this particular series, our advanced AI model has been meticulously trained to deliver his unique brand of humor, sharp analysis, and unapologetic commentary. Each episode is crafted to reflect Sean's viewpoints, drawing from his vast archive of commentary and insights. Think of this as Sean meets the future, providing you with timely, entertaining, and insightful content, even when he's not behind the mic. Now, let's dive into today's absurdity, another classic example of government efficiency at its finest. When did Washington lawmakers decide we weren't paying enough at the pump? A 6-cent gas tax hike starting this July, pushing us from 49.4 to 55.4 cents per gallon, with an automatic 2% annual increase after that. This is a stick-up without the courtesy of a ski mask. Washington drivers already face the third highest gas prices in the nation at $4.28 a gallon, and yet Olympia's brilliant solution to declining fuel tax revenue is to bleed drivers dry even more. It's like treating a patient with severe blood loss by scheduling regular donations. Of course, they're promising us $3.2 billion for infrastructure over 6 years, but we've heard this song before. Let's dig into this latest example of government efficiency at work. Lawmakers approve 6-cent gas tax hike to start this summer. Seattle. As the legislative session came to a close Sunday, a Senate bill for a 6-cent increase in the gasoline tax stirred debate among drivers and lawmakers alike. Stirred debate? That's putting it mildly. It's like saying the Titanic experienced minor water damage. When Olympia decides to reach deeper into our pockets, they always make it sound like they're doing us a favor. Stirring debate is political speak for we're taking your money whether you like it or not. The bill passed the legislature and has been delivered to Governor Bob Ferguson to be signed or vetoed. The tax hike, which would take effect on July 1st, aims to bolster the state's transportation budget by $3.2 billion over 6 years. $3.2 billion over 6 years sounds impressive until you realize we've heard this song before. Remember when the last transportation package was going to fix everything? How's that working out for us? Our roads still look like they've been used for military bombing practice. I'm not anti-infrastructure, folks, but I am anti-throwing good money after bad management. The gas tax would rise from 49.4 cents to 55.4 cents per gallon, then increase 2% a year. The hike would be the first in the state in nearly a decade. The state tax on diesel would increase by 3 cents in July and another 3 cents in 2027. It, too, would increase 2% a year after the second hike. Oh, that 2% annual increase is the real kicker here. It's the gift that keeps on taking. They're not just hitting us once, they're setting up an automated money extraction system. And notice how they slip in that little detail at the end. Oh, by the way, we'll just automatically take more every year. It's like a subscription service to poverty that you never signed up for. Washington drivers are already paying the third highest average gas price in the nation at $4.28 a gallon, according to AAA. Drivers in King County are paying an average of $4.54 a gallon and $4.33 a gallon in Pierce and Snohomish counties. Third highest in the nation. We're on the medal podium for financial pain at the pump. Let me just say, this is a spectacular achievement in government inefficiency. California, Hawaii, and Washington, the holy trinity of how to make driving unaffordable. And King County at $4.54? That's not a gas price. That's a small mortgage payment. We're being punished for the crime of needing to get to work. Drivers have expressed mixed reactions to the impending increase. It's been surging at an uncontrollable rate that realistically the vast majority of the city can't afford, Aiden Rupp, a local driver, said. Gas doesn't need to be more expensive. Like, yes, it's a finite resource, but it does not need to be taxed this heavily. Mixed reactions? What's mixed about that? Aiden is dropping pure facts here. The only mixed reactions are between people who are furious and people who are livid. Can I just point out that we're talking about working people here? People who need to drive to earn a living, take their kids to school, or God forbid, actually leave their house for something important. This isn't a luxury tax on yachts. It's a tax on existing in Washington. Finn O'Neill, another driver, echoed concerns about affordability. It's insane. I don't get good gas mileage with this bad boy. And paying over $150 a month in gas is not doable much longer. Finn, my friend, I feel your pain. $150 a month is already brutal, and now they're just piling on. It's like watching someone drowning and deciding that's the perfect time to throw them an anchor instead of a life preserver. And for those driving larger vehicles for work, forget about it. I'm not a financial advisor, but when your gas bill starts competing with your grocery bill, something's seriously wrong with the system. Despite the pushback, lawmakers argued the tax is necessary to address declining fuel tax revenues and rising construction costs. We already have a high gas tax, but it is the revenue source. So the majority, in looking at ways to continue the projects that were in front of us, continue the budget work, proposed this increase to our gas tax. Republican State Representative Andrew Barkis said, "Hold up, declining fuel tax revenues? You don't say? Maybe because you've taxed gas so high that people can't afford to drive as much? It's like opening a vein and then wondering why the patient is running out of blood. And construction costs are rising? Welcome to the economy you helped create. When government spending drives inflation, don't act surprised when things cost more." This is economic malpractice with a side of gaslighting. Democratic Senator Marco Lias, who sponsored the bill, emphasized the need to fulfill promises of completing overdue projects and repairing aging infrastructure. SB 5801 also increases vehicle weight fees, rental car taxes, and tire replacement fees. Senator Lias, the gift that keeps on giving, to the state coffers, not to us peasants. Fulfilling promises of overdue projects, those projects were promised with the last tax hike. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, surprise. They're also hiking vehicle weight fees, rental car taxes, and tire fees. It's the transportation tax equivalent of a combo meal. Would you like fries and a drink with your financial devastation? While some drivers oppose the tax, others, like Tim Lowe, support it if it leads to tangible improvements. If it's directed towards where they're fixing things and things are being done, I would be okay with it. And that's just because we all need to drive everywhere, Lowe said. Tim, I appreciate your optimism. Really, I do. It's refreshing in these cynical times, but that "if" is doing some heavy lifting in that sentence. If the money actually goes to fixing things, if we see tangible improvements, that's a bigger if than if I win the lottery. Look, I'm not against paying for good roads. I'm against paying more for the same terrible roads we've always had. At some point, you have to ask what happened to all the previous tax money before you hand over more. Here's the kicker with these gas tax hikes. You're not just paying more at the pump. You're funding Olympia's masterclass in economic malpractice. Meanwhile, our roads stay potholed and our bridges keep crumbling. It's the definition of insanity. Bleeding drivers dry while promising infrastructure that never materializes. And that automatic 2% annual increase, that's government's way of picking your pocket without the awkward annual confrontation. So what's next? A tax on oxygen? Let me know your thoughts, folks. Am I crazy, or is Olympia the one high on their own supply here? Because if we don't speak up, they'll keep treating our wallets like an all-you-can-eat buffet.